Jerome Schottenstein Center, where the 89th Annual Boys Wrestling Championships are being held and the 4th Annual Girls State Wrestling Tournament is being held. Yes, Bob, we've talked about the 5 individual wrestlers that came to this tournament, earning their way through district qualification. I want to talk a little bit about the team races. There's been, in the last several years, the team race has been over literally on the 2nd day before the 3rd day even begins, with teams way ahead. Not so this year and at all in any divisions. Let's start with actually Division 3. Graham last year dropped down to Division 3. They still have a slight lead, or no, they're close right now actually. Tell me about what teams are in the Division 3 race.
Well, Graham is actually in second.
Yep, second by a point.
Apple Creek Waynedale, which is in Holmes County, I believe, up in what we usually refer to as Amish country, has had a strong program for years, and they are currently leading the Division 3 race by just a point. They've got 26.5, followed by Graham with 25, and then Manor Lake Catholic, who has been up and down, usually Division 2, but they've been Division 3 the last couple of years. Manor Lake Catholic is in 3rd place with 20.5. It's too early in the tournament to project end results. There's so much can happen between now and then that a lot can change in terms of team standings, but it's interesting to see that Graham is not dominating the first round. Like in some years past, they've probably had 10 wins in the first round. That hasn't happened this year.
It's much closer. In fact, Graham has already been determined if they'll move back up to Division 2 next year, which is the larger school division. But they have won approximately 25 consecutive state wrestling championships. They're on the ropes this year because Waynedale came with a really good team. They won the state dual championships, but Graham chose not to compete at the Division 3 state championships. They moved up to the Division 1 and lost to Dublin Kaufman in the semis. Bob, why would they do something like that?
Just for the competition, the level of competition. I've always heard that Graham doesn't like the fact that they've been bumped down to Division 3. I don't think you have a choice of where you go, though, in terms of this particular tournament format. So they're pretty well locked into 3 this year.
Division 2 is a 3-team race this year with 3 parochial schools, all from the Dayton area competing, or from the Columbus and Dayton area. We have Waterston in first place, DeSales in second by just a point or so, and then Kettering Alder, Upstart, has come on strong, and they're in 3rd place.
All 3 of those teams came out of the same district, the Wilmington district, which that's unusual. Usually you'll get teams from different areas of the state that'll be competing for the championship, but right now those 3 are really looking pretty solid and projected to be the contenders for the championship.
You know, what's interesting in that, there's a lot of stars for Waterston and DeSales, but they're all underclassmen. Probably led on both teams by a young man by the name of Michael Boyle, who is trying to reach his 3rd state title. He's a junior, so he could possibly win, if he wins this year, his 4th title. Already a signee at the Ohio State University.
This kid's one of the best all-around athletes in the state of Ohio. He was all state in football, and of course Waterston won the state in football. He's a 2-time state champion in wrestling already. Only a junior, so he's still got a year to go. And he's really a nice, physical-looking kid, and everything I've ever read about him says he's one of the greatest kids that the program has ever had, and one of the best kids to work with.
Hello from the Jerome C. Schottenstein Center on the campus of The Ohio State University. We are at the 89th Annual Boys High School State Wrestling Championships and the Girls' 4th Annual State Wrestling Championships. With me is Bob Mowrey, longtime wrestling aficionado in the area, and I'm Dan Roberts, retired superintendent and retired wrestling coach. We are representing Mr. Nick Epifano of Epifano Sports Network, ESN, reporting from the state tournament. Bob, we've been here many times together, but this is just as exciting as it's ever been.
Absolutely. We see something different every year, new champions, new challenges, and it's just never the same.
never the same, and that's good. 224 participants in each of the 4 divisions, boys division 1, 2, and 3, and the sole girls division, came here with hopes of winning either an individual and or a state team title. And the race has been pretty tight so far, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But 5 local athletes earned their way, qualified to the state championships, and we'll start with the first and only girl that's made it here for the 3rd time. Leah Marine, with 104 wins in the past year, just won her 105th match, Bob, here on these mats.
It's been very solid for Courthouse, very solid.
She entered the match as from the district, and she defeated the Clyde wrestler. And the Clyde wrestler did something interesting, chose top in the 3rd period while she was down.
You don't often see that. It's generally done if a wrestler knows that that's their strongest position and best chance of scoring. And she did ride her hard during the 3rd period.
She did. Marine fought off that leg ride in that high half series to win 3-1. She will advance to the quarterfinals with 1 more win. She will earn automatic all-state status, which she has done once before in her career. The Washington Courthouse Busters both came in. Malachi McCullough at 165 and Wes Gibbs at 175 pounds entered the tournament and did not have farewell the very first round.
No, they both lost their first matches, but both of them came back and won their first consolation round, so they're both still alive and hypothetically can still place as high as 3rd place in the tournament, which is a very good accomplishment.
It's great to see both of those wrestlers being here for the first time, winning at least 1 match and being able to advance. With winning 1 more match, again, would be all-state. Both, again, lost decisions, 10-1 from Malachi McCullough in his first round, and Wes Gibbs lost 6-1. But then they both, like you said, regrouped, rallied, and had great 2nd round consolation matches to get to be able to come back tomorrow to compete.
Yep. Sometimes the first round is a lot of nerves and they don't wrestle quite as well. Tight, they wrestle tight, but both those boys came back and wrestled well in their 2nd matches.
Miami Trace brought 2 wrestlers here this weekend. Gabriel Carson, a 175-pound sophomore. He came out, lost a tough match to the Walpock wrestler Wyatt Pugh, 11-0. But again, he regrouped Bob in the 2nd round of consolation.
Looked real sharp in his second match.
I thought he wrestled John Fedor in the 2nd round and then really did some nice things, especially on the feet, and attacked well.
Indeed.
Tyler Stevens, our 190-pound senior wrestler from Miami Trace, he won by pin in the first round, which is really tough. First period, right? He really took it to task. He has a really tough kid, a runner-up, state runner-up coming up from Canfield, Gabe Miller, in the 2nd round. But again, he spent part of the season not being able to wrestle due to injury. But boys, he come back from the league, sectional, and district, winning all 3 of those.
Actually, now that you mention it, Carson missed some time off too with an injury.
He was out as well.
Both those kids were able to come back late in the season and wrestle very well for us in the league, sectional, district tournaments, and now at the state.
The intensity, Bob, grows with each round. I think it's always been your favorite rounds though coming up tomorrow.